And now, let's continue this journey together, further exploring the luminous paths that connect our daily life to the paradise described by Maria Valtorta. Imagine opening your eyes in the morning, breathing in the fresh air and perceiving, in every little detail, a spark of that eternal light. It is as if, behind every corner, a silent invitation awaits us to discover the beauty hidden in every gesture and every word. Think of nature, which becomes the perfect stage for this divine show. Trees are not simple elements of the landscape, but authentic guardians of ancient stories, capable of telling centuries of wisdom. The sunlight, playing among the branches, becomes a brush that paints shadows and reflections, transforming each leaf into a small work of art. This visual symphony invites us to stop, to look with new eyes and to rediscover the wonder of living. Every color, every shade, seems to speak a secret language, made of pure and timeless emotions. But the magic doesn't stop at nature. Even human relationships, often considered ordinary, are transformed into acts of communion that touch the heart. When a friend gives us a sincere smile or when a family member hugs us with that disarming sweetness, a bridge is created between here and the infinite. It is as if, for a brief moment, the veil that separates the earthly world from heaven is lifted, allowing us to glimpse the light that resides in each of us. These experiences, however small they may seem, are the reflection of an immense love, capable of transforming even the grayest day into a celebration of colors and hopes. Maria Valtorta, with her sensitivity and the intensity of her visions, also offers us a starting point to reflect on the relationship we have with time. We often let ourselves be overwhelmed by the daily frenzy, forgetting that beauty lies precisely in the present moment. That cup of coffee, the scent of wet earth after the rain, the distant sound of laughter, all elements that, if observed carefully, become fragments of eternity. Learning to live in the here and now is the first step to welcome that spiritual dimension that Maria has so intensely narrated to us. And then there are those curious details that enrich the story and make Maria's message even more fascinating. Have you ever thought about how certain places, even if they are simple glimpses of life, can transform into portals to infinity? Take for example a small country village. Behind its apparent simplicity lies a plot of stories, traditions and legends that speak of hopes, sacrifices and shared joys. In these places, the energy of the inhabitants and the beauty of the landscape merge, creating an almost unreal atmosphere, as if time stopped for a moment and reality was dressed in light. It is also interesting to note how, despite the controversies that have accompanied Maria Valtorta's works, the power of her words continues to resonate deeply in many souls. It is not to be underestimated that figures such as Padre Pio and Mother Teresa have found in these writings a source of inspiration, capable of illuminating moments of darkness and bringing hope to the weary hearts. This reminds us that, ultimately, the value of a vision lies not so much in universal consensus, but in the ability to touch the essence of the human being, inviting him to rediscover his own inner light. Let us try to imagine for a moment a reality in which every daily difficulty becomes an opportunity for an encounter with the divine. A simple act, like helping a neighbor, can transform into a revolutionary gesture, capable of lighting a spark of change that radiates far beyond the gesture itself. In this vision, even the most arduous challenges take on a new meaning. They are not insurmountable obstacles, but opportunities to grow, to learn to see the world with eyes filled with compassion and love. What if I told you that science, in some aspects, is getting closer to this conception of the world? Recent studies have highlighted how the perception of beauty and the emotional connection with the environment can have positive effects on psychophysical well-being. In this sense, Maria Valtorta's descriptions can also be seen as an ancient form of light therapy, an invitation to awaken in us the ability to recognize and value every moment of beauty. Science teaches us that the brain reacts positively to the stimulation of aesthetic experiences, and perhaps this is exactly what happens when we let ourselves be enveloped by the harmony of creation. Our body reconnects to a higher dimension, where pain and fatigue dissolve in the face of an all-embracing love. Another fascinating interpretation is the one that connects art with spirituality. Imagine a painter inspired by these visions, who translates onto canvas those indescribable nuances and sensations that go beyond simple sight. His work then becomes a window onto paradise, an invitation to discover a world where pain gives way to joy, and sadness turns into light. These artists, often considered visionaries, masterfully capture the essence of a humanity that, despite its imperfections, is destined to be reborn in an eternal embrace of love and understanding. We cannot forget the power of words, which in this context take on an almost magical meaning. Every story, every description, is a piece of a mosaic that is completed only when we embrace the idea that the divine is not distant, but present in every single moment of our existence. Maria Valtorta's words, as simple as they may seem at first glance, are actually an invitation to look beyond appearances, to see a message of hope in every detail. And this is precisely what makes her message so powerful, the ability to transform the banal into the extraordinary, the everyday into a spiritual experience. Imagine participating in a daily ritual that allows you to reconnect with this dimension. It could be a short meditation in the morning, a moment of silence in which you listen to your heartbeat, or a mindful walk in nature. These small acts of awareness can become real bridges between the earthly and the otherworldly world. They are like seeds that, planted in the soil of the soul, sprout into flowers of hope and love. Every time we choose to stop and listen to that inner whisper, we are rewriting our story, making it worthy of being told with passion and gratitude. So, why not embrace this daily challenge? Why not be inspired by the beauty that surrounds us and transform every moment into a work of art? The vision of paradise, like that of Maria Valtorta, reminds us that we are not alone on this journey. Every living being, every element of creation, is part of a larger design, a perfect harmony that invites us to rediscover the profound meaning of life. It is not an unattainable promise, but a reality that we can touch, if only we learn to see with our hearts. Finally, let me share a thought with you. The beauty of heaven is not something static, but a continuous flow, an infinite dance that involves the entire universe. It is as if every star, every sound, and every breath participated in this magnificent show, creating a vibrant energy that permeates everything. When we manage to tune into this frequency, the world around us transforms into a stage of light and hope. And then, the real miracle is not so much discovering a distant place, but rediscovering the ability to live every moment with intensity, with gratitude, and with the awareness that, deep down, everything is connected by an invisible thread of love. So, I invite you to continue this journey with an open heart and a free mind, letting each experience become a piece of a mosaic that tells the story of your personal rebirth. Be curious, dare to look beyond the surface, and, above all, never forget that heaven is already here, in every smile, in every gesture, and in every breath. And if one day you feel overwhelmed by difficulties, remember that a moment of silence is enough to find that inner light that will always guide you home. Thank you for sharing this moment of reflection with me. If the story has touched you, if you have perceived even just a spark of that magic that permeates every moment of life, then you are already part of this wonderful journey. Continue to search, to dream, and above all to live with the awareness that every day brings with it the possibility of a miracle. And remember, the light is always there, ready to welcome you, if only you know how to open your heart and let it in.